You have a PhD, you've read thousands of books. You consider yourself intelligent, rational, immune to manipulation. Yet cult leaders don't need complex psychological warfare to control you. They don't need elaborate schemes or sophisticated techniques. They need just 4 words. 4 carefully chosen words that can bypass decades of critical thinking in seconds. This isn't theory. This is documented reality from hundreds of cult survivors who all fell for the same linguistic traps. Your brain has ancient vulnerabilities. Evolutionary shortcuts that once kept you alive now make you susceptible to verbal manipulation. When these 4 words hit your auditory cortex, they trigger neurochemical responses that shut down your prefrontal reasoning. Dopamine floods your system. Oxytocin creates artificial bonding. Your logical mind becomes a passenger to your emotional brain. The shocking truth: intelligence makes you more vulnerable, not less. The smarter you are, the better you rationalize the irrational. Cult leaders know this. They specifically target the educated, the successful, the confident. Because confidence becomes overconfidence. These 4 words work because they exploit fundamental human needs: belonging, purpose, understanding, and safety. They're designed to make you feel special, chosen, enlightened, while simultaneously making you dependent and compliant. Every cult survivor thought they were too. The first weapon cuts deepest because it targets your ego. 4 simple words that transform ordinary people into devoted followers. Only we understand truth. These words create instant artificial exclusivity. Your brain immediately starts calculating what you might be missing. Keith Raniere convinced successful professionals they were blind to reality. Only his NXIVM group possessed the secret wisdom. Jim Jones told his followers that only they could see through society's lies. Everyone else was trapped in darkness. Your evolutionary wiring craves being part of the chosen few. Being special. Being chosen. Being above the masses. This triggers your fear of missing out on cosmic truth. Your rational mind shuts down when offered membership in an elite circle. The moment you hear these words, your defenses are already weakening. But knowing this pattern is your first line of protection. Building on what we covered about truth manipulation, the second word, weapon, strikes at something even deeper. Your desperate need to belong. Picture this. You walk into a room full of strangers. Immediately, someone approaches with those 4 devastating words. You are finally home. Your brain's attachment system floods with oxytocin and dopamine, the same chemicals that bond mothers to newborns. But here's the trap hidden in those words. If this is home, then everywhere else becomes foreign territory. Your old friends become strangers. Your family becomes the enemy outside the walls. Neuroscientists call this manufactured dependency syndrome. The lonelier you were before, the deeper this weapon cuts. Coming next, the third word, weapon that makes you surrender your judgment completely. The third weapon strikes at your very core. 4 words that dissolve your autonomy in seconds. Trust me completely now. The manipulator's ultimate demand. Your surrender, disguised as salvation. Here's what your brain doesn't realize. Absolute trust feels like freedom from choice. When someone else makes every decision, your exhausted mind finally rests. This relief becomes addiction. The psychology is brilliant and terrifying. Questioning authority creates cognitive dissonance and physical pain. Your brain learns to avoid this pain. Doubt becomes the enemy. Blind faith becomes comfort. Watch how they do it. First, they overwhelm you with complex problems you cannot solve alone. Then they offer simple solutions. But only if you stop thinking and start following. Each time you surrender a small decision, your judgment muscle weakens. Like atrophy of the mind. Soon you cannot imagine making choices without their guidance. Independence becomes terrifying. This is how empires of control are built. One surrendered thought at a time. The antidote? Question everything. Especially those who forbid questions. Your curiosity is your shield. Remember this. Healthy leaders welcome doubt. Only tyrants demand blind faith. Trust your instincts. But there's one final weapon that seals your fate completely. The fourth word trap creates enemies everywhere you look. The fourth weapon cuts deepest of all. 4 words that transform ordinary people into paranoid soldiers. They want you destroyed. These words bypass logic and strike directly at your survival instincts. Every cult leader knows this ancient truth. Fear unites followers faster than love ever could. The external enemy becomes everything wrong with your life. Your failures, your pain, your struggles. Suddenly it's not your choices that led you here, it's them. The shadowy forces working against you. This creates the most powerful psychological bond known to humans. Shared paranoia. When everyone is against you, the only people you can trust are right here in this room. The leader becomes your protector. Your shield against a hostile world that wants to see you fail. Question the group. You're helping the enemy. Leave, you're joining the forces of destruction. The trap is perfect. Doubt becomes disloyalty. Critical thinking becomes betrayal. Your family doesn't understand. Your friends are compromised. Only we see the truth. The paranoia feeds on itself. Every rejection proves the conspiracy. Every criticism confirms the threat. Marcus Aurelius warned us. The mind that sees enemies everywhere becomes its own greatest enemy. Now you know all 4 weapons. But knowing is just the beginning. Now comes the crucial part. Building your defenses. These 4 phrases don't just appear in cults, they're everywhere. Your boss who claims only they truly understand the market. The politician promising you found your true home with their movement. The influencer demanding complete trust while painting everyone else as your enemy. The moment you hear these patterns, your mind should sound an alarm. Ask yourself this first critical question. What does this person gain from my belief? Second question. Who benefits if I stop thinking for myself? Third. What evidence exists beyond this person's word? Marcus Aurelius taught that your mind is your sanctuary. No one enters without your permission. Your skepticism isn't cynicism, it's wisdom. Question everything. Trust your reason. Guard your independence. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button. And subscribe for more.